Before she died, Lucille Ball exposed the 7 actresses who were actually evil. Lucille Ball was born Lucille Dear Lucy Ball on August 6, 1911 in Jamestown, New York. Her dad was Henry Ball, who worked as a chiropractor and eye doctor, and her mom was Dear Evelyn Hunt, a stay-at-home mom who dreamed of being in theater herself. From a young age, Lucille learned about hard work and creativity, things that would help shape her amazing career. Even though her childhood was tough because her parents split up and money was tight, Lucille showed she was strong, determined, and had a natural funny side that would become her special trademark. Ball's early career started in the 1920s and 1930s with small parts in theater shows and modeling jobs, which eventually brought her to Hollywood. She signed a contract with RKO Pictures and appeared in a bunch of small movie roles, slowly building up her reputation for being charming, having great comedy timing, and being really expressive with her body movements. By the 1940s, Lucille Ball was known as a talented actress who could do both comedy and serious acting. But it was her brave approach to comedy that would make her stand out from everyone else. Her special style was a mix of perfect timing, over-the-top facial expressions, and being willing to do silly physical comedy and crazy stuff, which helped her connect with audiences in a really deep and lasting way. The biggest moment of Lucille Ball's career happened when she created I Love Lucy in 1951. Starring alongside her real-life husband, Desi Arnaz. This amazing sitcom didn't just change her career. It also completely changed the television industry forever. I Love Lucy was one of the first shows to be filmed in front of real people watching live, creating the multi-camera style that became the normal way to make sitcoms. Lucille Ball's acting as a lovable, troublemaking Lucy Ricardo showed off her genius for physical comedy, her ability to show real human feelings, and her skill with timing that made regular situations super funny and unforgettable. The show's huge popularity made her a name everyone knew and made her one of the first women to have serious creative control in television. Beyond her talent on screen, Lucille Ball broke down barriers as a businesswoman and pioneer. In 1952, she and Desi Arnaz started Desilu Productions together, a studio that made many successful television shows, including Star Trek and Mission Impossible. After her divorce from Arnaz in 1960, Lucille took complete control of Desilu, becoming the first woman to run a major television studio, which was an unheard of achievement in an industry run by men. Her leadership and vision didn't just shape the future making television shows. It also inspired tons of women to go after careers in entertainment and business. Even after I Love Lucy, Ball kept entertaining audiences with many more television series, specials, and guest appearances, including The Lucy Show and Here's Lucy, proving she was versatile and people still loved her. She won countless awards during her lifetime, including multiple Emmy Awards, a Golden Globe, and the Special Kennedy Center Honor. Beyond all the awards, her real legacy is in the joy she brought to millions of people, the doors she opened for women in entertainment, and the high standards she set for being funny. In 1940, Lucille Ball's life took a big turn when she met Desi Arnaz, a charming Cuban band leader who was quickly making a name for himself in Hollywood and playing at nightclubs. Their first meeting was on the set of the low-budget musical movie Dance Girl Dance, a movie that wasn't a hit with critics or audiences, but became historically important because it was here that Lucille and Desi first felt a connection that would start one of the most famous marriages in show business history. Even though they came from totally different cultural backgrounds, Lucille being born in New York with English, Scottish, and Irish ancestors, and Desi being born in Cuba, they were instantly attracted to each other's charm, humor, and shared love for entertainment. Their dating period was intense and fast, and within a short time, the two became impossible to separate, eventually getting married and starting a life that would mix both their personal and work lives together. The early years of Lucille and Desi's marriage were filled with both excitement and stress. As Lucille's quickly rising career often kept her away from home, she was determined to become a leading lady in Hollywood. And this big goal required lots of travel, long hours on movie sets, and constant dedication to her work. The couple's busy schedules often left them far apart physically and emotionally, testing how strong their young marriage was. In 1944, the pressures of being apart and the challenges of balancing career with family life hit a breaking point, causing Lucille to file for divorce. Yet, despite the separation and the uncertainty, how deep their love was and the bond they had built proved to be strong. After lots of thinking and effort, Lucille and Desi got back together, showing a commitment to each other that went beyond the typical Hollywood romance. Their journey to becoming parents was filled with sadness, as Lucille had multiple miscarriages in 1942, 1949, and 1950. These losses were heartbreaking for the couple, testing their emotional strength and their ability to support each other through deep sadness. Finally, in 1951, Lucille gave birth to their first child, Lucille Arnaz, a happy moment that started a new chapter in their lives. The family got bigger on January 19, 1953, when they welcomed their second child. Desi Arnaz Jr. having their children brought huge happiness and satisfaction to Lucille and Desi, though it also added new responsibilities and complications to their already demanding lives. Despite the love and shared memories, the pressures of fame, personal differences, and the constant demands of their separate careers eventually led to the end of their marriage. In 1960, Lucille and Desi divorced, with Lucille later saying their marriage had been a nightmare at times, though she was careful to admit the lasting importance of their relationship by saying that Desi was a great love of her life. This mixture captures the sweet and sad nature of their marriage, a blend of deep love and unavoidable challenges that has fascinated fans and people who study history for decades. In 1961, Lucille found love again when she married Gary Morton, a talented stand-up comedian whose humor and steady presence gave her something different from the intensity of her previous marriage. Their relationship was marked by mutual respect, friendship, and stability, and the two stayed together for the rest of Lucille's life. Gary Morton's support let Lucille continue her groundbreaking work in television and entertainment, while enjoying a loving, lasting partnership that went on for several decades. Their marriage, built on friendship, laughter, and loyalty, stood as proof of Lucille's ability to find happiness and balance after the chaos of earlier years, and it stayed a cornerstone of her personal life until her death. Before she passed away, Lucille Ball, the legendary queen of comedy and television, supposedly revealed a shocking secret that had been hidden behind the fancy, glamorous face of Hollywood for decades. Known for her perfect timing, contagious laughter, and pioneering role in shaping television as we know it, Ball was no stranger to the darker side of the entertainment industry. Throughout her career, she had met countless actors and actresses, some of whom had hidden reasons and secret plans that often went unnoticed by the public. According to people close to Ball, she told a small group of friends and co-workers that there were at least 7 actresses in Hollywood whom she considered actually evil. These weren't just rivals competing against each other, or actresses whose behavior on set was difficult. These were women whose actions she believed were planned out, mean, and deeply hurtful to the people around them. Lucille Ball's comments were clear, specific, and bold. She supposedly singled out Joan Crawford, saying, "She had a way of smiling at you while she planned your downfall. You never knew whether she was praising your performance or waiting for you to mess up. She carried a darkness with her that you couldn't ignore." Ball's observations came from years of first-hand experience, as she had crossed paths with Crawford on several occasions, and saw firsthand her sharp-tongued criticism and behind-the-scenes tricks. In Ball's eyes, Crawford represented a type of planned-out cruelty that went beyond professional competition, entering into personal territory, where loyalty and friendship were treated as tools rather than treasures. Another named Lucille Ball supposedly mentioned was Bette Davis, an actress whose talent was legendary, but whose temper was equally well known. Bette could charm an entire room, and then leave you wondering if you were just collateral damage in her game. Ball supposedly said, "Davis, known for her fierce independence and determination, could be both inspiring and scary." Ball's understanding of Davis's personality suggests that she recognized the two sides in some of Hollywood's brightest stars, the ability to inspire amazement while at the same time making people afraid. Ball's comments showed that such people, though brilliant, could manipulate and hurt others with precision, often while pretending to be mentors or friends. Lucille Ball also supposedly spoke of Mae West, a name that meant wit, sexuality, and unapologetic confidence. Ball's warning wasn't about West's talent or charm, but about her ability to use others for personal gain. Mae could turn the simplest interaction into a trap, Ball supposedly said. This kind of observation shows Ball's deep understanding of human behavior and her sharp intuition developed over decades in an industry where image often hid true intentions. Ball's expose supposedly continued with other actresses, including Tallulah Bankhead, Carole Lombard, Joan Fontaine, and Ingrid Bergman. For each, Ball supposedly told stories that showed manipulative behavior, jealousy, and cruelty that went far beyond ordinary professional rivalry. She described situations where playing favorites was used as a weapon, where private conversations were used against co-workers, and where trust was treated as money to be spent and misused. Ball's commentary suggested that while the public saw sparkling movie premieres and glamorous smiles, there was an undercurrent of personal agendas and personal battles that could be devastating if someone wasn't careful. What made Lucille Ball's supposed revelations especially striking was the difference between her own public image and the stories she told privately. Known for her warmth, humor, and ability to laugh at herself, Ball's private observations revealed a sharp, analytical mind that was very aware of human motives. She had learned over the years that surviving in Hollywood wasn't just about talent or luck, but about understanding the complicated social situations behind the scenes. Her comments suggested that while many actresses went after success through charm or dedication, a few went after it through lies and emotional manipulation, leaving a trail of harm behind them. On April 26, 1989, Lucille Ball, the beloved actress and television pioneer, whose life had been marked by both extraordinary professional success and personal strength, experienced a sudden and serious medical crisis that would ultimately lead to her passing. That day, she complained of intense back pains, describing them as unusually sharp and constant symptoms that immediately worried the people around her. This sudden discomfort was especially concerning because it happened shortly after she had gone through a major heart surgery to repair an aortic rupture, a condition that by itself was extremely dangerous and had required significant medical treatment. In the hours that followed, her condition quickly got worse. She lost consciousness, leaving friends, family, and medical staff in a state of urgent concern. Despite quick efforts by the doctors treating her to stabilize her condition, her body couldn't recover from a new medical emergency, and she tragically passed away. Later investigations into her death revealed that the cause was another aortic rupture, this time located in the stomach area. Importantly, medical experts explained that this rupture was completely unrelated to the earlier heart surgery she had gone through, showing how sudden and unpredictable condition was. An aortic rupture, whether in the chest or stomach section, is a life-threatening event as it involves the tearing of the body's main artery and leads to massive internal bleeding, if not treated immediately. In Lucille Ball's case, this second rupture happened so quickly that there was basically no opportunity for medical treatment to work. The fact that it was unrelated to her previous surgery gave some explanation for the tragic timing, but it couldn't reduce the shock and sadness felt by millions of fans around the world who had long admired her for her pioneering contributions to television, her unstoppable spirit, and her unmatched comedic talent.